So what's the real difference between leverage and no leverage? Easiest way to think about it is if you owned say a landscaping business and you were the greatest landscaper ever and you had people waiting, backed up to get your service. Even if there was a month-long wait, they wanted you to come do their landscaping. Leverage is the other way. What if instead of you being the only landscaper, you had 100 landscapers that worked underneath you that you had trained? They weren't quite as good as you, but they were, good, and there's 100 of them. So they can knock out projects day in and day out, and you can continue to train and help new ones get started. The point is, even if they were only a tenth as good as you, a tenth, you're going to get a way bigger result than you would being a one-man show. And the problem that people have is they, one of the old tenets of back in the day is they get so caught up on everything's about them having to go earn money and so forth. If we get beyond all the mystery of it, it's quite simple. And one of the things I would say too is that we live in the age of leverage. And there's more than just financial leverage. I mean, think about Facebook. How did the Mark Zuckerberg get so wealthy? It's leverage. It's leverage of the internet. He didn't build the internet. He built something that would work with the internet, which already had the leverage. They could reach the whole planet through the internet. And main thing is, I think it was J. Paul Getty that said that he'd rather have the efforts of 100 men than any effort of his own. And that is the secret of building big wealth. Now, the other piece to that is that the government incentivizes those who use leverage in many ways. And the biggest way is through tax reduction. Because what do they want? They want more taxes. Well, the way more taxes are created is by having more people employed, more profits made, etc. Well, it's really hard. I mean, the other thought on that is think about that landscaper. I mean, if he could only do one fabulous job a day, but a team of 100 could do even 10 jobs a day. That's 10 jobs. It's 100 people paying taxes. And leverage works just like that. That's how people, I would say leverage is the biggest hang up when transferring a mindset from middle class or average thinking to big thinking. It's the biggest hang up because we've all been told, don't have debt, don't do this, don't do that. Really, it's don't have any leverage. Do it all on your own and see how it turns out. Reality of it is no big company you can name does not use any leverage at all. That's the employees themselves are leverage. But, it is what it is. The people that don't understand leverage will never have the fire. It's like this. It's like having a water gun and the other guy's got a machine gun. That is the difference between leverage and no leverage. And to bring it all full circle, I'm always saying traditional planning doesn't have answers for today's debt-fueled economy. Traditional planning does have its place. It has its place for the profits you make after the fact. It shouldn't be the first thing you do. It should be the thing that you put some profits in after you've built leverage. You have a great tax strategy and you've got pipelines of, income and flow, cash flow coming in. Then you can use some traditional planning. Traditional planning is built, it's like it puts the cart before the horse, as my grandma used to say. And in today's world, that's why it's easier than ever to actually become wealthier and wealthier, because there's endless access to all kinds of different leverage that didn't even exist even 10 years ago. From money to technology to people to all of it. That's why it's easier now than it's ever been in history. But the people that are still clinging to a non-leverage, do it all by themselves philosophy are doomed to get crushed in the next 10 years. So anyway, with that, John Duncan, hope you're having a great day.